Let's do another applause, guys. So I'll go ahead and just make this announcement first before we get to the really cool stuff. I'm Chris Hanna with El Paso Media Fest, and I'm really, thank you. We actually have our festival here at Alamo Drafthouse East. I am saying this because in February 3rd through the 5th, on February 4th, on a Saturday night, we're going to be screening Silent Sounds as the first, actually, El Paso feature to ever screen at our Media Fest for the 4th year. So let's talk about for myself, I think it's amazing to have such a beautiful product like this that not only involves great storytelling, great horror filmmaking, but also gets, has a lot of local talent and local crew, and I think that's one of the best things we've seen here in El Paso. So congratulations, Andrew. Really an honor. So stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for passes and badges and all that good stuff, and let's get started. So Andrew, first off, as a horror filmmaker period, with Board Films, what inspired you to really put this together as far as a whole anthology series with the short films that you screened tonight?
So, I don't know if you guys saw the trivia, but this was actually a film that I made back when I was in high school. And so I called it Silent Sounds, and it was just a silent horror film. It was just me messing with the camera. And then, similar to Nicholas, by the way, we like to reboot our stuff consistently because we get better, and then we want to do the same thing, but bigger. So then I did that. So I was like, oh, I'm going to reboot it. I'm going to make it better because I learned more. And then I ended up just tangenting, like the story was completely different, but I really liked the sound, Silent Sounds, and I really liked the idea of, horror is in a way, you don't really hear about it. So I was like, I'm gonna keep the title, but I'm gonna make an anthology. And we had met Frank, James, John, Johnny, and even Jay and Jacob, and we kind of did. Eli, Patrick. I'm sorry. There's so many people that we went in our road, and from there we were able to create this horror anthology, and we do it every single year. And at one point, I said we need to do something like this. We need to just not keep doing it over and over again. We have to have a plan with it, and so this is the thing we want to take out and hopefully show everyone. Beautiful.
Let's wrap it up for that. So now let's go around the line and let's say, this guy Nick, he's like, I don't want to talk. So let's go with everybody and say your names again and your roles, and what was the best thing that you remember over the shoot that you really enjoyed, and share that with the audience. Let's start at the end of the line.
All right. Woo! So I'm Ivan Villante. I'm the writer and director of Cruelty Free, and probably one of the most memorable experiences. Probably the first night of shooting. It's my first time writing and directing something like this, so I was super nervous. And we shot the murdering scene where Ben chokes the lady, and so after that first night, I was just having cold sweats. I was having nightmares with Brad, the actor. It was awesome.
I like talking until I get up on stage. My name is Nick.
Keep going.
Honestly, with films. Okay, so the two that I was working on was Cruelty Free with Ivan and Happiness Defined with George. And Swiper with Andrew.
Also owner of Dopamine. Co-owner.
And honestly, what was the other part of this?
What was one of the most enjoyable experiences you had
Got it.
doing what you did?
So honestly, I think the most enjoyable experience throughout all of these films was working with everybody on these films, especially because there was a lot of different perspectives and everybody got to do something they like to do. It was really, really cool. I think one of the biggest things I learned on this was that teamwork is a dream work. And honestly, none of these projects would have been anything without the help of everybody here.
Hello, everybody. Jorge Barana. So I did Happiness Defined. Yeah. And I guess it's what was the question? Sorry.
One of your most enjoyable experiences making this film.
Again, I think I'm gonna bounce back to Nick Mentor, and it's just like working with the crew and being able to create with a very creative environment. I think that was one of the key factors in my process. And yeah, the overall working with everybody and just having a good time, like really just being on set and just having fun with it was really cool experience.
I directed Swiper, Murdering Time, The Haunting of Sunset Heights, and the Bumper. And the Bumper, yeah. I think that's all of them. And then my enjoyable experience, I agree with them, but I'm gonna try to be a little different, just so you know, for the sake of being different. I really enjoyed working with my actors. It's so, yeah, like round of applause for them because they're so incredible. I like to really, you know, get deep with you know, those performances and yeah, I must say it was just so much fun. Even on the scary stuff, it was so much fun to work with my actors that I had a privilege to not even get close to, but get to know personally.
We love you, Andrew!
My name is Frank Acosta. I wrote Sunset Heights, right? I forget the title a lot. I have a bad memory. But yeah, I wrote Sunset Heights. I AD'd George's film. I second AD'd yours. I started Sunset as well. Yeah, I played Daniel. Yeah, and the most enjoyable experience. I think each set is different. So you know, each I think like on Sunset we did like a overnight shoot, so those were kind of fun. By 4 in the morning, though, we were like just out of it, but it's still fun, you know. And then I think honestly one of the coolest things is right now, because a lot of these films I hadn't seen in their final cut. So watching them right now, like all our hard work that we did up there, it's like, oh shit, this is what it looks like. So yeah, right now.
All right, so let's open it up for the audience. I'm trying to see, so raise your hands, guys. I'm sure there's questions, and yell them out. I think he has a question.
Over here.
Go ahead. Yep.
Right on here.
When is the home release for 4K releasing?
When we're gonna release it in 4K.
Well, we're gonna take it to ASM, which is the American Film Market, next week, which is in LA, and so we're gonna try to find some distribution for it, and then from there we'll figure it out.
Good answer. Good answer. Other questions?
Right ahead.
Yep, over there, up top.
While filming Sunset Heights, did you guys encounter something or feel any ominous environment, like since it is a true story?
Yeah, you know, it was pretty crazy because, before I get into it, the father, played by Jay Stratton, is based off of the Kennedy's father and Amparo's husband, and he had passed away. And so when we were there in the house, it was, you know, Victoria, Vicky, Frank, myself, and Jorge. We would go in every single night to go over the shots and go over the PD while, you know, Amparo and Kennedy were with us. And, you know, it was a lot of fun and we were laughing. And out of nowhere, we smelled the father's cologne. And it was really emotional because, you know, from what I've heard of the stories that we heard from him, he was a very social, very loving man, and so it kind of felt like he was there with us, you know, and you know, our crews were like a family, so we're like joking around, and we're there for long hours, so it was, I think that was the most paranormal experience, but it was a good one, if that makes sense. It was like a nice, loving environment.
What other questions? Right there.
So, what was like the hardest thing? What was like the biggest challenge on y'all's film that you had?
Yes, sir.
I didn't direct one, so none of that was hard for me. I just sit back and just relax. But no, honestly, yeah, for me, I guess it would be the writing, because we had such a short span of time to write this thing. I think we pre-produced it, and then pre-production we just finished a while ago. But the pre-production and production took over the course of like 4 weeks. So it was like we had to just get it out there fast. So for me, writing was probably the most difficult part.
I would just say time. It always gets to us. You know.
Yeah, I would say the VFX. That was tough.
Yeah, honestly, time. Time was the time, and having to fight the sun. That was probably one of the, or fight the sun and also like keep the sun away, or work with us. But either way, I think time and fighting light.
I was really fortunate to be working with such a talented team, so they made it super easy for me. But you know, still the most challenging part, besides time, would be just keeping the story grounded because of the little time that we had. We had to do some cuts, do some changes. We were doing changes to the script the night before because we shot it basically in 2 weekends. But yeah, again, like you guys made it super easy.
All right, we have time for one more question over here.
This one's for the writers. Where did you all get your inspiration for these? Or how did the inspiration flow through the script?
You want to start over there?
Yeah, sure. So I guess my main inspiration was serial killers. I listened to this podcast. They talk about serial killers, so I was kind of obsessed with them. And I try to find people to base these killers off of. So it's like a mix and match of different people with different mannerisms. And I try to find real life conversations that I've heard or had in real life. And so yeah.
I guess for me, happiness defined was the inspiration came from me trying to find happiness, and sort of like questioning it and seeing like just kind of, it was like more like a meditative kind of introspective kind of approach when I wrote that. But what inspired it? I don't know, I was having some problems in life, and I was just kind of like mid-life crisis kind of stuff. I'm doing a rom-com next, guys. So.
No, right? I didn't write The Haunting, but I'll talk about Murdering Time, because I really liked that process. Literally just came back from Disneyland, and then I binged all the Guardian movies, and I was like, I want to make a movie like that. And so definitely the cast, Jack and Jeff, inspired me 100%, which is like just working with them too. I had a blast. And it's really funny. It's just a small story. We had a rehearsal with Jeff and Jack at my apartment, and they both showed up in blue, and they never met each other. And they were just like, Dad, son, and then they hugged. And it was just,
Jeff is sexy!
It was there immediately.
Yeah, for Sunset, well, you know, I guess the story was already laid out for us, because like Andrew said earlier, we would meet with family and then we talk about their experiences or whatever. So, you know, after that, well, I kind of just took whatever we spoke about and just adapted it to the script. And then just the last act is what's fictional, at least to my knowledge. I don't think that actually happened. But yeah, the last act is fictional. But yeah, other than that, like I said, it was pretty much already there for us. So I guess the hard part was just, you know, just trying to capture their voices, paying honor to, you know, their father, the legacy of the house. And yeah, so really no inspiration, but that's how it went down for that.
Let's step it up just one last time for all the filmmakers, the actors, the writers, the directors, the photographers, the crew, everybody that works really great.
And Dave, you guys are amazing. Without you guys, I would be able to do this. That's it, guys.
Thank you.
Have a great night, and we'll see you guys for another screening of this film in El Paso Media Fest next February. Unless he screens it elsewhere beforehand, but for now here in El Paso, I'm assuming that will be the screening. So stay tuned for it at El Paso Media Fest on Instagram, guys. Thank you.